Starting at the bottom left of Whirlwind, we have our MVP Zerg player able to take the third map in this best of 5. This is the final boss. It is
MVP DongRaeGu.
DongRaeGu with a good game on Daybreak. Still has to win 2 more maps if he wants to advance to the semifinal. His opponent starts to the top left, this time without the 6 pool that he used against Seed. A little bit more careful here in this game. It is the Startail Zerg player.
Startail live.
Life with really cool decision making in that last game, showing what most people do not do. And in fact, I think that may be the first or second time I've ever seen that. It was literally throwing away 30, 35 drones to get that much army supply, having that Nidus network to reinforce his units immediately. Just such a genius play, really. It didn't end up working, but it was pretty cool to see when he had all the cards stacked against him. He had an idea, he had a strategy that was so smart. Now we see gas first for Life, and DRG is going to go again 4 games in a row. Hatch first.
And you know, right now, if you just look what we're currently seeing on this game is Life once again with a very, very aggressive strategy. Having this gas this early, not going for an expansion at all at this point. He sees his opponent on the first position that he scouts, and this could well be a one Baneling attack. I don't even know if he's trying to go into a natural after all. The drone going, yeah, okay, he takes the base, but this is a very aggressive opening nonetheless.
Yeah. He's going to have the ability to attack very early and very hard. And at these positions, they're not cross, so DongRaeGu is going to have to be careful about this. Also on this map, the natural is relatively wide open. You have that neutral depot that helps you out. You're going to have to spread one tumor if you want to have spine crawlers near the ramp. More so, though, I feel on this map, it's not about blocking the secondary ramp, it's really about blocking your ramp into the main. Where there's a lot of space to the right side off creep where you might be able to sneak around with your Lings and Banelings.
The biggest story here is that DRG doesn't know what's happening. He has no idea. He has no clue, so he has no scouting information. Life with the Overlord saw the expansion, and therefore you can just safely assume what's going to happen here. I mean, you see the timing, so Life is like, okay, you went once again for your hatch first. Even if you take the gas, I will be so much faster with my speed and with the Banelings than you. What are you going to do? If you don't scout what I'm doing, if you don't have the Overlord into position right away, I will be able to get into your base.
Yeah. Life, he stopped mining, by the way, after 100 gas, so this doesn't mean he's not going to attack, and in fact he's making 6 Lings right now. You might just attack with pure Speedling, which is impossible to hold without Banelings for DongRaeGu.
He is definitely going to attack. There is no other reason to get the speed this fast. That he pulls out just means that we won't see the Baneling nest for him, but this is definitely a speedling attack for him that he's trying to use this timing.
So many more minerals for him with this, so he can make all those Speedlings.
Did you see that trader circling?
Yeah, that was really nice.
That was nice. That was him backstabbing his friend. They hatched from the same egg and he just turns around and runs away instead of helping his friend out. This is the worst betrayal that I have seen since Jesus versus Judas. This Zerg is my... Oh my god, I can't believe it. That was cruel.
It was DongRaeGu's orders, man. DongRaeGu now orders his drones off the line here, and jokes aside, man, DongRaeGu is on the brink of death if he does not defend this attack. He's got his drones. He's waiting for that Baneling nest. His queen barely gets on the ramp in time, but will it be enough? That's a lot of Speedlings.
A nice hold position here, though, and the Life has to do exactly the same thing. He has to go for hold position, and guess what he's doing?
Oh man, that queen is getting very low. Is there enough energy for transfuse?
He doesn't have it.
He doesn't have it. He's on 41. Both queens are dead. The Speedlings for DongRaeGu come out, but he's already lost the queens.
He might save one, but no, both of them die, so double queen goes down. No queen for DRG. He is still ahead in Harvesters. The Zergling count is better for Life, though, but only by the smallest of margins.
It's all about the Banelings now, because Life has a better Ling production, and he can just run away here and wait until he has a massively better Ling count, but since DongRaeGu has the Banelings, he feels pressure to actually stick around and fight.
And Life is making the right decisions here. He's going straight back into the Harvester production, and now suddenly he is not only even in Harvesters with DongRaeGu, but he also has the double queens and therefore the better production.
He's mining 1 Harvester in gas right now. He's made his Baneling nest. He's going to put 2 back inside so he can make some aggressive Banelings as well. He's not going to stop the attack for a really long time here. He's not going to overcommit to the attack, but he's got to keep the pressure on DongRaeGu here. Otherwise, DongRaeGu is just going to sit back, drone up, and take a massive lead. That one Spine Crawler, though, is not going to be even anywhere near enough to defend against this counterattack from DRG.
He has to be careful of the banelings. This is the one problem that he's facing now, and he needs the queens at the ramp, and he has both of them there. The Spinecrawler has to be cancelled. He doesn't have the baneling nest just yet. He will have to evacuate the drones.
Yeah, that one Spinecrawler actually bought just enough time to get that second queen on the ramp. And that one baneling man. Okay, not the best hit there, and he will save the queen for now. No, not entirely. And here come those two banelings. He's got a split.
Yeah, he has to split them.
5 and 5 actually for both those banelings, and DRG may have actually just gone too much here.
Yeah, the two queens are dead, and this is of course the one thing that Life tried to prevent. There go the Zerglings. They just die. The harvester count is even. This time DRG is the one with the two queens. He had the momentum, he used it, took down Life's queens, and just reverts the scenario.
He got some of that larva with that one baneling hit, and then Life even canceled 2 of his drones. So like, he just lost a ton of larva, and with no queens, I mean, you cannot afford to throw larva away like that. You can't afford to let DRG knock down your larva with banelings, but he doesn't have a choice. 5 larva to 1 right now, 2 queens to none. A little bit of a scout here for Life. He wants to see how many drones are here, how much DongRaeGu is actually committing to another follow-up attack.
Both of them still without the lair tech, going for the drones. You can see that DRG takes the lead in supply here. Life has now both queens back in the game. A lot of banelings on the other hand for DongRaeGu, and he is not done yet. He's walking to the top left once again. He wants to get this win. He wants to be tied with Life and force game number 3, and he might be able to do it. Life is really forced to stay on his tech and starting to just trying to defend here.
That was a 4 for 1.
Uses his gas now to go also into lair once again a little bit later.
Oh, 1 baneling for 2. And he goes into the drone line. DRG damages all those banelings heavily.
Yep, damages the drones, but he's not able to kill them.
Yeah, he can't finish them off. But still, DongRaeGu has a massive lead here.
It was a really, really nice hit. But it's just not enough. But the lead that you just mentioned, it's 5 harvesters now, and both of them are joining up. So in the end, it will be DRG ahead with 5 to 8 harvesters in total.
Faster Roach Warren for DRG, as well as the +1 coming out at his evolution chamber. Things that Life has not been able to begin yet.
He has more gas. DRG has a lot more gas than Life. Even though Life started with the early gas and tried to be aggressive here, he put the drones back very, very late. So with all this extra gas that DongRaeGu has, he gets the +1 faster, and he has still a lead that he can use to go into the Overseer that you currently see. He wants to know what's going on in his opponent's base. A very, very smart play by DongRaeGu now.
He immediately starts Roach Speed when the lair is done. Life, on the other hand, goes for the Infestation Pit instead, skipping the Roach Warren entirely here, getting a very late Evolution Chamber. We'll add the Roach Warren pretty soon, but he wants to get the Infestation upgrades, the Path Design upgrade out first, it looks like. That Overseer will see no Roach Warren, and this actually may trigger DongRaeGu to take a 3rd base, because he knows that there's no timing that Life can really use to punish it.
Life is now the first one to start his tech. He's going straight into the Infestation Pit, also starts the Roach Warren.
Now the Roach Warren very late though. And DRG, man, he is pushing across the map. He not only knows that there's not going to be any roaches to attack his 3rd, he also knows there's not a lot of roaches to defend his push.
And the way that he timed it, he will arrive before the +1 attack upgrade is done. But if he can fight with +1 roaches against Zerglings without an armor upgrade, that would be like the perfect timing for him. He forces Life into Spinecrawlers now. This is the only chance that Life has. But DRG might even be able to take the Spinecrawlers down before they are done. And look at this timing. Look at the +1 attack upgrade. And speed. Look at both.
And this are going to finish right when he breaks through those first spines. If he goes, but he doesn't, he waits.
Spinecrawlers are done.
But the 3rd base for DRG is exactly why this is so smart, because he knows that Life is now on the ropes. He has to make a bunch of lings. His Roach Warren is so late. And DRG is going to have his 3rd base up a little bit faster. The only problem he has, of course, is the Infestor tech. But it's not even that far behind him.
Snipes the banelings, takes down a lot of the Zerglings
he's going to try to get behind the Harvesters, but he gets bungled in the Spinecrawler range.
Yeah.
Pull that Queen back, Life, what are you doing?
The Queen is going to die. The Queen dies, and he also kills a few of the Harvesters here. And keep in mind, as DongRaeGu has this 3rd base, he already transferred a few drones over. It's not 100% done just yet. Also, a big difference here in the Harvester count. 10 Harvesters ahead for DRG.
Yep.
And he has his own Infestors if Life decides to be aggressive right now. His Pathogen Glance is done, and his +2 is already on the production tab, whereas Life just started +1.
Yeah, his +2 is ahead in progress to Life's +1. There's the Lifestyle Overlord assassination. It's a long and painful assassination, but it does pay off. And this one Overlord will go down as well. DongRaeGu with this Overlord, actually, with that speed spread, he's just saying, I see what you're doing over here.
DRG has an awesome position here.
Yeah, he knows everything.
And he drones up. He knows that right now with the advantage that he has in the upgrades, with road speed, with the upgrades, that he has his own infestors ready, he can't just drone up. If life moves down now, he has to be so careful because DongRaeGu already has the same amount of infestors. Well, not quite, but 4 against 5. He has a lot of roaches as well. He has the better upgrades. It's so difficult for life to actually be aggressive.
Yeah. Now he's going to get supply block, in fact. He'll lose 2 Overlords, so he recovers for a second, but DRG, on the other hand, may lose one of his. It's going to be pretty close.
Yeah, I think
he's going to survive, yeah, just barely.
Just. But the meta still stands. 72 drones, and at this point in the game, this is exactly what you want to have. His economy is really good. He has the extra gas for a long time already, and life is already down 30 supply. While life is taking his Hydra, and DRG is completing +2 attack, and he's just gearing up now.
A missed Baneling, a detonation, and a missed fungal there, but life doesn't accomplish anything with those lings. These Overlords may get fungled. DRG has a lot of Overlords out here.
Fungal doesn't do him any good.
Yeah, he
needs
can't
to drop in.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the energy.
And he's actually going to save this one, or at least attempt to. Looks like he's not quite going to save it. Well, it's going to be close.
DRG is going to move out. He has 88 supply against 59. He has the attack upgrades that we talked about, and he has a massive, massive army supply lead.
Yeah, he's just going to crush Life here. Life has an even investor count, and he has, I think, slightly better energy on his investors, but this is just looking nasty. The thing is, the Spine Crawlers, there's only 4 of them, and the upgrade advantage is going to be the biggest part here. With the army supply plus upgrades, how can Life hope to hold? Spine Crawlers can only do so much. Oh, nice fungal, though. That was really well done. And another missed fungal by DRG.
Yeah, but the Infestors is down. The Infestor is dead. This is close. And Hydra Deno also for DongRaeGu. This is really tense, but he's moving in now. He has so much. And here come the Infestors, the upgrade advantage for him in the better numbers. And he is going in, and DRG, he looks larger than life at this point.
Yes, he certainly does. He comes in, he now makes the concave as he swings around the left side. The Infested Terrans, 4 life start to drop. In DRG, he is resupplying so easily with the amount of bank he had.
And he's just moving in. The roaches that are popping out for life find themselves covered in blood as DongRaeGu goes to town with his army.
The Infestor's out of energy here for both players, but there are no roaches anywhere to be seen for life. Starts to lose his Infestors. He's going to lose every drone here. What are these drones doing? They're trying to transfer, but this is the worst possible situation to transfer in.
They want a part of the action, Wolf.
GG, and DRG has tied up the series 2-2, taking us to the final and 5th game.
DongRaeGu has done it. It looked as if he might lose this best of 5 without winning a single map, but then he comes back into the series. Life, he's not concerned. He's like, yeah, well, it's okay. I still have 1 map left. Can DRG do it? Can he go for the 3-0 basically? He was down 2 maps already, and now he has tied it. He has tied the series, and he has a shot at advancing to the round of 6. Can he prove himself to be larger than life in game number 5? We're gonna find out. But that's gonna be a close game.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty close. I actually didn't expect, when I saw how dominant life looked in the first 2 games, especially after game number 2, I was like, I don't think DRG has a chance here. I was thinking that. And now, DRG with the momentum, with the experience he has in the booth, in a matchup which is pretty important to be good in this tournament right now.
Yeah, definitely true.
That's where we're at right now, and DRG, man, he looked really good. Really, really good in that last game especially.
Yeah, in the last 2 games he played really well, and life now finds himself in a bit of a weird spot. He's one of those guys who's usually not too much concerned about it, and I don't think that he really feels too pressured. He knows that he has still 1 map, and he feels like the player who always approaches 1 game after another and just don't think about the series in general. So this is a very, very useful skill set to have at this point. And he has to approach his last map just thinking, okay, I did it already twice, I can't beat him again.
Yeah.
And, well, he comes down to the last map, so we get the full best of 5 distance. And the game is actually not even hosted yet.
Yeah, we're going to get into it pretty soon. You know, the last map is going to be in Tomb Valley, a 4-player map. We could see an early pool here easily.
Yep.
because even though the map itself is relatively large, the rush distances can be shorter, and I would not be surprised to see an early pull out of Life. But at this point, I would be really surprised to see one out of DRG, and that may be what he does because he's shown 4 hatch firsts in a row. 4 in a row, and he's really good at this one base aggression, so what if he just switches it here?
He's shown it against Linok, you know?
Yeah.
He's shown early pools against Linok. Usually the last few times that we saw him play, not only in the GSL, but also at Iron Squid, was a 10 pool with gas. And a very, very aggressive timing that he tried to hit. You can't do that on Entombed Valley, especially if you assume the opponent might go for a hatch first. Yeah. Then it's basically a build order win. So at this point, your guess is as good as ours. We could see an aggressive DRG. We could see both of them just heading for the late game and trying to get into the Roach battle with the Infestors once again. DRG also in both games tried to go into Hive. Went into Hive, went into Brood Lords, but the game ended before we had the Greater Spire finished. So right now it's going to be a very close match, I feel. Both players have shown excellent play in these 4 games that we've seen so far. But map number 5, that is what it comes down to.
Yeah. The reason why we actually didn't have the lobby made right away was because Heaven, our Korean observer's computer was lagging. He had to restart. Now the map and everything is hosted and ready.
DRG is in the game, Entombed Valley. Life also just joined the lobby, so we are good to go. Both 2 players are ready, and in the booths behind us you can already see, actually you can't right now, that Parting and his opponent Violet are currently preparing as well. I actually talked to Violet a little bit earlier, and he said that it's not going to be easy against Parting, but he has a couple of builds prepared apparently.
He's in a good mood, you know, I feel. Just watching him walk around, he seems like he told me he feels he's ready.
His sister is actually here in the studio with him and watches his games. But before we go into our Protoss versus Zerg, it's of course time for the last ZvZ of the day, with DRG facing Live at the Blizzard Cup 2012 in the 5th map.
You know what's ironic about that is actually Violet is usually the name of a sister in a book or a cartoon series or even some sort of movie, but it turns out that Violet's sister is not named Violet. He's the brother in this case. Yeah, I find that really interesting. But Entombed Valley, the map is loading. I'm watching the loading screen on my computer. It all comes down to this. Only one of these 2 players will make it to the round of 4. Will it be the final boss? Will it be the Royal Roader? It's the old versus the new here at the 2012 GSL Blizzard Cup, cast by Caldor and Wolf.
Are you ready for this? I'm taking the hard line. Are you ready for this?
I'm so ready. Why does he even have to ask?